Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. What's up? How are you doing? Thank you again for tuning in. My returning subscribers, my new family, my new subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for coming. You are welcome. My name is Uche. I am a mother and a wife, and I live in Spain with my family. I've lived in Spain for over 12 years. Yes, anytime I say I give you those information, I want to talk about abroad. Yes, I observed, guys, that anytime I drop a video concerning abroad, I get one or two questions ranging from, how living is here in Spain, how getting a job, how schooling. I got one that asked about a single mother, a student single mother, and also the ones I feel I can answer on a personal note, I do, and the ones I feel like this one, I feel it needs a proper video, at least 10 minutes video, and that is why I'm seated here today. So that is why do African men abandon their wives in Africa and are living abroad and enjoying? If all these amenities, you people have steady light, steady water, everything is nice, why do they abandon their wives in Africa? And they are the ones enjoying abroad, quote and unquote. Okay, so today I might not be able to cover all the reasons because people obviously will have their own reasons, but these three major reasons I want to discuss with you that I know some men, that's the reason why some men leave their wives. The first reason that I know this is the major reason, let's say 75% of men leave their wives, not necessarily abandon, but people living in Africa, obviously, because ignorance is a massive thing. When you don't know things, you tend to give it any name. The fact that they are in Nigeria or in Africa, looking at the woman, not living with the husband, is misunderstand it as abandonment. Okay, so, but most times it's not necessarily abandonment. It's circumstances make crayfish bend. So one of the major reasons, like I said, 75% reason, like why a lot of men is residence permit. Yeah, because I know that, there's a way this world is. When you're living to a place of uncertainty, you don't know what to expect. And again, some people tend to get the wrong information. I've even noticed it abroad. There are some people that want to leave this country to another country. They'll be telling them, come, getting a job here is good. Getting a job here within 2 months, you have gotten a job, you have changed your papers and all. By the time they will get there, those people will not even answer their calls. Those people, when some people get there and what they told them on the phone is not how it is, and they will be stranded. So because of shame, they cannot come back. So one of the reasons, like I was saying before, why men abandon their wives is residence permit. They get the wrong information. Maybe they'll call somebody that will tell them, come, in less than 6 months, you get your residence permit, you can go back and get your family and you leave all those things. By the time you now come in, you find out that it's a journey of no return. Okay, so resident permit is like that ID card that is your stay here. That is basically your stay. That small thing, that ID card, it makes you a legal migrant. You're documented as somebody that is living here. So, and some countries, they don't take illegal immigrants. They don't take it easy on them. They deport them, or you see them running up and down. So that's one of the major reasons, why if you don't get your residence permit, you cannot do any tangible thing here. That is the truth. You cannot do any tangible thing. So, but getting it varies from one country to another. There are countries that is a whole lot easier than the other ones. Like here, when you get the things they ask you to get, like house contract. If you get house contract, you get your working contract and all. But don't forget that getting these things is not easy, because house contract, who will give you a house? Who will rent a house for you? Who will sell a house to you if you are an illegal immigrant? Do you understand? So people just go to somebody that is living already, somebody that is a legal occupant that is living in a house. The person is the person that will write the contract for him or her. But before when Spain for example, was going through crisis, a lot of people left the country to another country. So it was easier to get somebody to write a house contract for you. But now their economy has, to a larger extent stabilized. So we have a lot of influx of immigrants here. So getting a house contract is a bit, but it's not something that is not, that cannot be done. And getting a working contract, you need a firm to write a contract for you. That you are an illegal immigrant. A firm, employing you is a risk for them. So, but their grace differs. It's not something that doesn't happen. So, but for some people it's easier. For some people it's more difficult. So these are some of the things you have to get. And before you get these things, I'm talking about 5-10 years. Then there are some countries you will go, the only like 95% chances of you getting a residence permit is by getting married. And this one is very complicated, but because if you get to an area where these people that have their citizenship, there are some people use it as what they do for a living. Some people will just, I know somebody that taught somebody, they reached an agreement, that's based on contracts. So after the wedding, this person is an illegal immigrant. After the wedding, the woman started trying to extort money from him. Don't forget that this person is an illegal immigrant. He has a family in Africa and he has to take care of himself. The woman started extorting money from him. At some point, he couldn't. The woman, being the person that she is went and spoiled the paper behind him. And immediately your paper has problem, especially in Europe. Rectifying it, we are talking about 15, 20 years. Imagine if you got married to your wife and you left your wife at, 35 years. By the time, if it's a young family, maybe you just had one child, or two. By the time you get back, your wife is setting in for menopause, more or less. And honestly, I've seen this residence permit, the man didn't get his residence permit. It has torn a lot of families apart. It has destroyed a lot of families. That's why, personally, now, if you call me and tell me that you want to come abroad and you're married, I will tell you, do not leave your family. If you're married, unless you're a young boy of 20, 25 years old, you're not married, I can tell you to come, and explore. But if you're married, you have a family, if you want to leave the country with your family. Don't leave your family to say that you're going to look for a greener pasture. Everything in life is about prioritizing. So I always advise people, honestly, if you're a young couple, live legally and move with your family, settle with your family. Even as a family, get into another country, you need time to build your stay there and all. Imagine when you live with your family. There are people that their husbands are abroad. Eventually the husband got their permit, and the person that signed the contract, maybe the marriage contract, to them insisted that they will marry them for real. And the man knows that if he doesn't do that, there are some people that are wicked. There are some citizens that are wicked. If you don't go according to their thing, they will destroy your papers and your stay. Do you understand? So there are some people, their wives don't call them at all because they know that they are living with somebody they are married. So a lot of things is not worth it, honestly. So that's one. I can go on and talk about this residence permit. So if you're my brothers, my sisters in Africa, if you are married, there are a lot of legal ways. It might take you time. If you actually want to leave, it might take you time, but make sure you leave your family. Make sure you travel with your family legally. It's not leaving your family. The greener pastures, for me, in terms of scale of preference, your family is superior to whatever permit or whatever greener pasture you want to go and look for outside your country. My candid advice. So residence permit is one of the things that make it seem like a man abandoned his family. Maybe his plan was, I get there 2 years. How can you just imagine that? Is your uncle the president of that country? If you're just living for uncertainty, okay, so that's residence permit is one of the major reasons that make it look like African men abandon their wives in Africa. No, it's not usually the case. It's just, it's stuff that happens. Yeah, the second reason why it seems like African men abandon their wives in Africa And yes, is the nature of their job. There are some men that go on the fast lane. You know, the people that leave Africa, like, let me go there and make money, sharp, sharp, from the things you see on the telly those times. Let me just go. They will see people that traveled abroad and come back and start spraying money, start building houses. They will follow. So by the time they get abroad, they will enter fast lane. And you know, this fast lane, there are some countries like this country. If they see you, if they catch you, you will know how long you stay in jail. And there are some countries that they will kill you instantly. So because you know there's no peace for the wicked. So if this is against the law, so if you're somebody that is doing those kind of fast lane, 419, selling all those illegal substances abroad, a lot of them know that some of them, they don't even have a specific house that they stay. So if somebody that is living that kind of life, the person obviously will not feel it's proper to bring the family. Because is it anytime you hear a knock or a bell on the door, you will run with your family. So they prefer let them be the ones here paying paying the dues, because of the kind of job they chose to live. Because as long as I'm concerned, when you come abroad, you choose the kind of life you want to live. If you want to live an extravagant life, it's up to you. If you want to live that kind of life, the days live that kind of fast lane life, is up to you. So because they choose that kind of fast lane, they will not, obviously, as Africans, not even Africans, nobody will want that kind of life for the family. So yeah, some of them choose, to leave their families safe at home, while they want they leave. Not the least, for me, like I said, there might be other reasons. The last but not the least is fear of the unknown. Some men, a lot of things happen abroad. Women have rights abroad. So recently I heard, not recently, recent past, like November last year or thereabout, I don't know, some of us, heard or saw the video of that man that shot his wife. During his confession, you could hear when he was saying that when the wife was in Africa, he was respected. He was treated like a king. By the time the wife came, he trained the girl in school as a nurse, and the woman started making money and separated him and chased him out of the house. He couldn't see his children and all, so that kind of thing. We see those kind of things a lot abroad. A lot of women, when they start working, they'll lose their senses. When they start making this, especially this, what do they call it, benefits that they give women and children, some people allow it to enter their brain, and forget that this man was here. He suffered before he brought you. And so it's because there are some people that, that's why we have to guide our hearts. When you hear this kind of thing, and you now have friends as well, that will see reasons, maybe friends that also abandoned their wives or left their wives in Nigeria, you listen to them, they are your friends. By the time you people talk about these things, you'll be like, let me just leave my wife. I know a lot of Africans, not Nigerians. There's another African country here, like 50% of them, they don't live with their wives, and the ones that brought their wives here is always wahala because of this particular thing. Some of them, their wives left them. I know someone that the wife left. He's at the level of depression, but this is a man that was lively. And also the fear of the unknown. Maybe I'll bring her now, she'll now leave me, she'll start making money, and she'll now leave me thinking I'm not her class. She'll now leave me because of the benefits, because women have rights here. Some women will come and chase their husbands away. Something a man built over the years. You can imagine a man that came abroad, when he was a youth, he will buy a house, stabilize himself, and a woman will now come, for a flimsy excuse, reports him to the social. The man is just out of the house. When you hear this news constantly, if you're not careful, if you don't guard your heart well, the whole thing will be sinking into your head, and you might use that as an excuse, or not to bring your life partner. You just believe, since you're working and they are there every year, anytime you have break, you can always go and see them. Retain your peace, retain your value, retain your respect. So some men are like that, and that is one of the reasons why some Africans just prefer to live. They'll just feel like that's the best way so that they can live long. And they leave their wives in Africa. I know there might be, some other reasons. Like I said, if there is any reason, where you live that is common, why African men don't bring their wives over to live with them. If you have any of those that I did not mention that is very common, please leave them in the comment section. And if you have any question for us abroad, you can leave it. Somebody can pick it and answer the question. Or I have an Instagram account. If you think it's a question that I need to handle, or you need an idea or answer to any question, you can DM me or you can ask it in the comment section. Somebody can see it and answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching, and yes, I will see you in my very next one. God bless you. Bye.